It was his first time seducing a naive young lass, and he was so nervous that he handed her a pack of cigarettes.
Excuse me, mademoiselle. Do you smoke?
The man waited anxiously, but the girl paid him no mind, that is, until she spotted his luxurious car parked nearby and realized he was a wealthy chap. Her demeanor changed in an instant, and she agreed to let him give her a lift home. On the muddy streets of Vietnam, the immaculate, posh car stood out like a sore thumb, though the two sat far apart. Their thoughts were clear as day. Mr. Liang casually flashed the ring on his finger, his formidable status captivating the girl. He strategically placed his hand on the seat, as if awaiting her grace. Despite his best efforts to restrain himself, Mr. Liang couldn't resist the temptation. He gingerly inched closer and gently brushed her with his pinky. The girl's expression shifted, but she closed her eyes in enjoyment. Emboldened by her tacit consent, he took her hand in his, interlocking their fingers. By the time they reached her doorstep, the girl's cheeks were flushed. Mr. Liang reluctantly let go of her hand, watching helplessly as she departed.
Goodbye.
The silhouette behind the curtain was etched deeply in his heart. Unaware that the girl only fancied his wealth, the girl wasn't as noble as Mr. Liang imagined. Her refined appearance was merely a facade she struggled to maintain. Her eldest brother was a temperamental addict who often bullied her, and their second brother, he would snatch the family's meals for himself while the others dared not protest. She confronted her mother about her excessive leniency towards the eldest son, but her mother merely responded with a pained smile, utterly disillusioned with her family. Mr. Liang's appearance became her sole salvation. The next day, as the girl hurried to school, she was stunned to find the luxury car parked at the entrance. She instantly understood that Mr. Liang had waited for her all night. Instinctively, she approached the car, her tender lips leaving an alluring kiss mark on the window. Mr. Liang was itching to drag her into the car, but she knew that leaving him wanting more was the most enticing. Before he could react, she swiftly departed. To her surprise, when she searched for the car after school, it was nowhere to be found. That night, she tossed and turned, recalling the sensation of their fingers touching. Days passed without Mr. Liang seeking her out, leaving her to wonder if he had found someone new. When he finally reappeared, the girl hopped into the car without hesitation. After days of yearning, a single glance was enough to convey their thoughts. They promptly made their way to Mr. Liang's flat, shutting out the cacophony of the streets. Faced with the silent girl, Mr. Liang finally let his guard down.
Young rich Chinese have mistresses, and they call this the bachelor's room.
Do you have many mistresses?
Do you like the idea of me having mistresses?
Yes, I do.
So you followed me here, as you would have followed anyone.
I wouldn't know. I've never followed anyone into a room yet.
Gazing upon the not yet mature Anna, he began to feel apprehensive. He realized his feelings for her weren't merely physical attraction.
I'm afraid of loving you. Listen, we'll leave. We'll come back some other time.
Well, I'd rather you didn't love me. I want you to do as you usually do with other women.
Is that what you want?
Yes.
Anna's response dispelled Mr. Liang's doubts, regardless of whether they truly loved each other. The key was to sleep together first. This scene was captivating, and Tony Leung's bottom even gained international fame because of it. Alas, only I can appreciate it on your behalf. Amidst the clamor of the streets outside, the two made love countless times with insatiable hunger. Despite the pain of her first experience, Anna became enamored with the sensation. As night fell and the passion subsided, a tinge of disappointment and sorrow crept into her heart. Mr. Liang couldn't help but ask the question he most wanted to know.
Did you come here because I've got money?
I don't know. I came because I liked you.
Would you like me if I were poor?
I like you the way you are. With your money.
Anna's response was candid. Perhaps she had some affection for him as a person, but she was more fond of his money. Her impoverished and discordant family had instilled an inexplicable craving for wealth in her from the tender age of 15. Since her father's passing, she and her family had moved from France to this place to make a living. They subsisted on her mother's meager salary from teaching in the countryside. Meanwhile, her eldest brother, addicted to drugs and gambling, continued to drain the family's savings, making their lives unbearably bitter. Yet her biased mother still indulged him. Thus, Anna only felt like family with her timid second brother. Perhaps it was her desire to change her life that led her to agree to be Mr. Liang's mistress because she liked his wealthy status. Mr. Liang was somewhat disappointed by Anna's answer. He took her to a high-end restaurant to dine. As Anna heartily devoured her meal, she jested that if her mother and brother knew she was a mistress to a Chinese man, they would be furious enough to kill her. Hearing this, Mr. Liang merely chuckled and told her that
We can't tolerate the idea of that. I'm Chinese. I'm sorry. Now that you've done that with me, marriage between us would be impossible.
He spoke these words against his true feelings. Anna retorted that it was for the best, as she had no desire to marry him anyway. Afterwards, they both fell silent. However, upon returning to her dormitory that night, tears welled up in Anna's eyes. From that day on, Anna would ride in the luxury car to the flat after school each day. They relished in each other's comforting presence. However, an unexpected incident soon occurred. Anna's frequent dozing off in class was noticed by her teacher, coupled with her recent nightly absences. The school informed Anna's mother of the situation. Anna, unaware of this, still rode home in Mr. Liang's luxury car during the holiday, only to be spotted by her mother. Her mother angrily questioned if she was fooling around with strange men. Anna lied, claiming he was a wealthy friend. Seeing her stubborn denial, her mother produced the dormitory's attendance records. Her eldest brother added fuel to the fire.
Daughter looks like a whore.
But Anna insisted he was just a friend. Her mother ceased her interrogation. To prove herself, Anna brought her family to the city that day and had Mr. Liang treat them to a meal in the upscale restaurant. Mr. Liang was courteous and attentive. However, because he was Chinese, her family ignored his words and focused solely on stuffing their faces. In front of her family, Anna treated him like thin air. Mr. Liang felt like a clown, and the atmosphere was exceptionally awkward. When it came time to settle the bill, the eldest brother pushed the check to Anna, who promptly passed it to Mr. Liang without hesitation. Mr. Liang reached for his wallet. The rustling of banknotes roused Anna's mother from her feigned slumber, her eyes gleaming at the sight of such a thick wad of cash. Anna couldn't help but flash a smug smile. However, her eldest brother still harbored some dissatisfaction towards Mr. Liang.
Do you want to fight? Take care, little buddy. It'd take two of you to do the job.
Oh no. A lot more than that. 4 of me, you mean? You have no idea how weak I am.
Mr. Liang, with his refined manner and forbearance, not only saved face but also provided his opponent a way out. It was clear to all who was the weaker party. In this battle of dignity, he emerged victorious by retreating. Yet Anna deliberately humiliated him by intimately dancing with her second brother to lively music. Even her mother found their behavior a tad excessive. At that moment, Mr. Liang felt his dignity had been trampled, but he still suppressed his rage. It wasn't until they returned to the flat that his long-repressed emotions erupted. He slapped Anna hard and roughly shoved her onto the bed, his anger unabated. Only by tormenting her body could he find solace. However, Anna purposely put on an indifferent air.
How much is what we did worth? In a brothel, how much does it cost to do what you just did to me?
How much do you need?
My mother needs 500 piastres.
Leaving Mr. Liang perplexed as to why she treated him this way, his deep affection was met with torment. The next day, Anna handed the money to her mother in full. Her mother was well aware of its origin, yet instead of reproaching her daughter, she accompanied Anna to school and requested that the teacher allow her to freely engage in nighttime activities. Unhindered, Anna and Mr. Liang's rendezvous became increasingly frequent, deepening his feelings for her. He even made a decision to personally place his mother's heirloom diamond ring on Anna's finger. He truly wished to marry this deeply beloved girl. For the first time, Anna's heart was stirred as she gazed at the ring. Later, Mr. Liang purposely returned to his hometown, kneeling before his father. He expressed his intentions, declaring his profound love for Anna and his inability to part with this French girl. He hoped his father would consent to their marriage. However, his father had already arranged a marriage for him with the daughter of a wealthy family, a condition for inheriting the family business. His father demanded he choose between wealth and the French girl. Tears welled up in Mr. Liang's eyes, for he understood that without his father's fortune, he was nothing. Thus, he later confessed everything to Anna. He couldn't relinquish his father's wealth, and Anna wouldn't fancy a penniless man anyway. In a month, he would wed the woman his father had chosen. Nonetheless, Mr. Liang stated that if Anna was willing to marry him and didn't mind poverty, he could abandon everything. Anna remained as pragmatic as ever, expressing that Mr. Liang's father's actions were correct. In truth, she had always dreamed of returning to France, longing for the once prosperous family she had during her father's lifetime. At this point, Mr. Liang finally understood Anna's fixation on money. She had been born into a wealthy family and was keenly aware that they were destined to be apart. In the fading glow of the sunset, their silhouettes appeared particularly desolate. That night, they returned to the flat once more. For the first time, Anna donned a traditional Chinese cheongsam. Tonight, she was his bride. However, to thoroughly disillusion himself, Mr. Liang lifted Anna's chin and made her admit that she had only approached him for money.
Repeat after me. I was thinking about money, and only about money, from the moment I saw you on the ferry.
I was thinking about money and only about money since the moment I saw you on the ferry.
I would love to. I would love to take you. But I'm without strength. I'm without any strength at all. I'm dead. I have no desire for you. My body no longer wants the one who doesn't love.
His long fantasized love died that night. Perhaps he would never experience such a romance again in this lifetime. All struggles seemed so fragile in the face of the era's tides. From then on, Mr. Liang wasted his days smoking opium, burying the only true love he ever had. As the wedding day drew nearer, Anna visited the flat once more. She hoped that after his marriage, they could meet here one last time before she returned to France, leaving this place forever. In the blink of an eye, the joyous day arrived. Mr. Liang wed the wealthy young lady he had never met, yet not a hint of happiness could be seen on his face. As he raised his eyes, he spotted the girl sitting among the crowd. Their eyes met, as if bidding their final farewell. amidst the blasting of firecrackers. He slowly walked towards the ship with his bride on his arm. The girl watched him from afar. When Anna returned home, she discovered her luggage had already been packed. They were to board a cruise ship back to their country the day after tomorrow. Her mother then informed her that her Chinese friend had not only helped her eldest brother pay off all his gambling debts but had also covered their family's expenses to return to France. Her mother's words were filled with approval for Mr. Liang.
Do you only see him for the money?
Yes.
Anna's response was as habitual as ever. Her mother had long seen through everything but said nothing more. On the appointed day, Anna, clad in black, revisited the flat. However, the apartment was now empty and cold. The small room had once borne witness to their joy. She waited until dawn, but that familiar figure never appeared. Before leaving, she watered the withered flowers. These plants were just like Mr. Liang, always living in a gloomy environment, desperately awaiting the nourishment of love. Only now did she realize that she had fallen deeply in love with him. It was simply that her upbringing had constrained her. She had always thought it was merely her rebellious heart at play. In the dark of night, she walked alone towards her solitary life. The day she left Vietnam, she stood at the ship's bow, her hands grasping the railing, just as they had when they first met. The crowd was full of people seeing others off, but Mr. Liang was nowhere to be seen. It wasn't until the cruise ship pulled away from the port that a luxury car emerged from the corner. Though far away, she could seemingly make out Mr. Liang's melancholic face. She knew he was watching her, and she returned his gaze until the ship gradually vanished into the distance. She had left the place she had lived for over a decade. Countless times, she had dreamed of returning to France. She thought everything between her and Mr. Liang was just a fleeting encounter. Unexpectedly, music suddenly resounded in the ship's cabin that night. At that moment, an abrupt surge of sorrow completely shattered her heart. She burst into tears, the music reminding her of Mr. Liang on the embankment, her lover. She suddenly became unsure if she had ever truly loved Mr. Liang. Perhaps it was her impoverished and gloomy family, or perhaps it was the deep-rooted discrimination, or maybe it was the status of a mistress she never dared to overstep. Her love had dissipated like water in the desert. Only the pain in her heart brought about by their parting made her realize that she genuinely loved Mr. Liang too. In the blink of an eye, a decade had passed. The girl of yesteryear had become an old woman. She had experienced several failed marriages. She penned a novel about her emotional journey with Mr. Liang, thinking she would never see him again, until one day, she received a call from an unfamiliar number. Mr. Liang's familiar voice resonated once more.
He was intimidated. His voice trembled. And with the trembling, it had found the accent of China again. He knew she'd begun writing books. He had also heard about the younger brother's death. He had been sad for her. And then he hadn't known what to tell her. And then he told her. He had told her that it was as before, that he still loved her, that he would never stop loving her, that he would love her until his death.